everyone, this is Persephone, and today I'm going to talk about something that is a huge problem for many beta men. It's also a problem for repressed alpha men, so if you're not sure what you are, you can keep watching, and that is listening to bad advice. If you ask me what is the single number one thing that ruined my life, it's not autism, it's not abuse, it's not living in a third world shithole, it's having people filled up with bad advice and trying to enforce it on me, and also trying to sabotage me when I say no, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do my own thing. So this is something I'm very passionate about, and I believe that even if you can't do anything else, even if you watch me right now and you don't have money, or you feel you're unattractive, or you don't have a job, or you have any kind of problem, if you get out of this mindset and start doing the steps we're going to say, your life will start literally transforming. You will see results very fast. So let's say that you are a man who is kind of shy. I'm going to use people from abusive cultures, like cultures where you see a lot of abuse being glorified as some kind of caring for you. For example, Asian, East Asian, could be like anyone. White people can do this as well. I don't want to be racist, but cultures where you're supposed to listen to your elders and you're supposed to listen to your friends, and if you don't do it, you're a bad person or you deserve to be a loser. So let's say you're in one of those cultures where sex and sexuality and attraction and dating, people pretend they don't exist until you are 25 or 26 or after college age. And then your mom and your grandma and everyone start saying, why aren't you married? Why aren't you married? Where is your girlfriend? When I'm going to see grandchildren and all of that crap. So at this point, you have no idea how to approach women. You tried and you failed, or women just don't show any interest in you to begin with. They never did. So this is kind of an established situation at this point. Naturally, you try to see what you're going to do and you ask advice from society, from family and friends. These are the first people we usually go to. And they start telling you shit like, you need to go out more, you need to take a shower, you need to get a haircut, and just try to talk to a girl that you like. This was a lot pre the time where the virus that must not be named happened, and it's called cold approach. If you like a girl, just walk up to her and chat her up and you're going to get a date. Or if you have a classmate, let's just walk up to her and chat her up and invite her to dinner or something. If you are a man that is not hot enough for women to already approach you on their own, there are very big chances you're going to be labeled the creep by doing cold approach, by walking up to strangers and try to chat them up more than you can imagine. If you are in specific countries, you may even be slapped with sexual harassment or management classes or something like that. This only works if the man is extremely attractive. If you're a model, if you are a bodybuilder, if you're an athlete, if you are a celebrity, or if you have a lot of money in general, you can do the exact same things and you're going to get away with them and women will be flattered. And if you're a guy of average or below average looks, if you're the chubby guy, the nerdy guy, the short guy, the balding guy, and so on, we live in a very, very cruel jungle. I think that very few things changed compared to 5,000 years ago. We're just the same, but with gadgets now, and people don't like to think about that. But I'm telling you things that they're going to help you, not things that they're just going to make you feel good. So cold approach is out of the question. It's not going to work. So you tried it and you got your heart broken, you got the ew, get away from me creep expression from women. You got even women calling you out or threatening to kick your ass. You got women actually kicking your ass. And you retreat for some time in your room to cope with pornography, with weed, with YouTube, although it's ironic that I make this video and talk about it, and you just pretend it didn't happen. Then in the next Christmas or Thanksgiving or family gathering type of event, the same thing is going to come up and they're going to tell you, why aren't you married? Why don't you have kids? How to get a girlfriend? And they're going to give you the same advice, which is just go out and talk to girls more, just get out of your cell, or this time they're going to include clubs, bars, and a bunch of other places that, again, they don't work if you are timid, and they don't work unless the man is extremely attractive. So pretty much, they're going to be giving you the same advice over and over and over, although it didn't work. If you are not in this case, which most people are, and you try it 2, 3, 4 times, after that you're going to start feeling very discouraged and that something is very wrong with you, although that's bullshit, and it's because the advice was bad in the first place. So you're going to try doing something that the next stage, from what I see from my fans and what I hear on OnlyFans, the next stage is your friends saying try online dating. Since called approach fate, try online dating. Which again, I'm going to be very brutal here because I'm being harassed relentlessly by people who think I do online dating when I don't. You make a profile based on what you think is cool, which is very, very bad idea. I need to make a video on how to make a good online dating profile, good from female eyes. But usually men just add whatever they think is cool, and most women couldn't be less interested in it. For example, these photos that you see on someone's profile with some huge fish that they caught. Personally, I'm allergic to fish. I don't eat fish. I can't eat fish, to be more precise. I don't go fishing, so if a guy with a profile full of pictures of fish is going to message me, I would never be interested. Maybe I would talk to him if you had videos of him cooking the fish and serving the fish, because men who cook and cook well are in general more attractive. I want to give you this hint. But just plain raw fish that recently died, no. Yet a lot of men are just going to add on their profiles football, or even worse, they're going to make accounts that they show that you have a personality that is the same as a cardboard box, saying I like walking, eating, watching movies, breathing, like the same thing that every human does. And a bunch of unflattering pictures. Again, unfortunately, so many people don't know how to take a good picture or how to ask someone to take one from them. So crickets from online dating as well. You got only bots, you got only OnlyFans sellers, scammers, and then you go back to the gathering and then people say, have you tried online dating? Have you tried actually talking to women? Have you tried getting a haircut? Again and again and again, and you live in this sick loophole where you don't know what's going on. You tried everything they told you to do, and actually you put a lot of effort. I have guys saying to me, I tried talking to 100 women. I tried sending 200 messages and I got nothing. Not even one date. So what is going on here? What is going on is that either the people that you're asking advice from are losers. Either they're narcissists and they just get a kick out of seeing you fail. They could be boomers, so something that worked 50 years ago doesn't work now. Because 50 years ago we didn't have social media that made hypergamy explode. By hypergamy I mean it's very different to live in a village of 5,000 people and ask the girls there out, and it's very different to ask girls out that even a 3 out of 10 girls, even a 3 out of 10 girl in terms of attractiveness, she can make an Instagram and she's going to have 100 men begging her every day. Most of these men are creeps, but that inflates their ego. So what your dad did to get your mom is not going to work with you. The other reason is that they're also incels. I have men contacting me asking for advice, and it's like, my friend did this and that. And I'm asking him, how is your friend in his dating life? And he's like, he's 35 and he never had a girlfriend. Okay, why are you asking advice from him then? This is like blind leading the blind. You're going to go nowhere or fall off a cliff. So what are you actually going to do? Because this video I'm depressing myself at this point. First thing you need to do is to zip your mouth and stop asking for advice. This is very crucial because when I was starting to try to change my life, I made the mistake of following the advice of, in order to commit to your goals, talk about them, post them on Facebook. Okay, I never became cringe enough to post them on Facebook, but I would talk about them. And I got a bunch of people trying to talk me out of it. The moment you want to step to uncharted, unknown territory, you're going to have people trying to drag you back with everything they have. And if you are determined and you say, this time I'm going to get a girlfriend, I'm going to do what it takes, they're just going to sabotage you, because misery loves company, because a lot of them are narcissists and they are going to lose the guy that they compared themselves to and feel better. I'm going to tell you something that is very horrible. I'm really sorry that I have to be the one to break the news, but in female friendships, and in male friendships, but usually males don't discuss about it, there is usually this friend in a group of friends, or this relative in a group of relatives that other people look at and they feel better about themselves. You could be the fat friend, you could be the loser friend, you could be the virgin friend, because virginity isn't something to be ashamed of, but they're going to see it like this and they're going to say, well, my girlfriend is a fat loser bitch, but at least I'm not like him, who's a 40-year-old virgin. So if you stop being the 40-year-old virgin and you get a good girlfriend, all of a sudden the person who compared himself to you and felt better becomes the biggest loser of the group. So he has to prevent that from happening, so he has to prevent you from actually going out there and improving yourself. I'm going to mention the steps here to not make this video huge. We are going to expand on them in future videos. If you want faster help, OnlyFans is above. You sign up and there is a chat section that is similar to any kind of like chatting. You can message me your situation, I'm going to respond. The first thing is you are taking a very objective look at yourself. If the only person who calls you handsome is your mom, and it has always been this way, things have to change, and we start from looks. Looks are the first thing people see about you. So if you are medically overweight, I get a lot of shit and a lot of hate about that, but I'm not going to stop because this is something you need. If you've never done a medical checkup, it's extremely important to go do one and check your hormones, check your health, and check your testosterone, because if your testosterone levels are very, very low, that results in so many problems. It's one of the main hormones in your body, and also it's going to give you a feminized appearance, which if you are not a sissy or if you are not interested in transitioning, you don't want that. So you check your hormones, you check your weight, and you do whatever your doctor tells you. So if your doctor tells you you are 10 pounds overweight, you have to lose that. If the doctor tells you you're 50 pounds overweight, you have to lose that. When I say to people you have to lose weight, if that's the case, it has to be under the mindset of if it's not healthy, it's not sexy. So whatever is healthy for you, for your age, for your height, for your level of activity, for your race, and so on. Don't neglect that. Don't look around for fat men with girlfriends to say I'm going to be like him. I'm going to tell you a secret. Most fat men who have girlfriends usually got them when they weren't fat, or usually have a lot of money, or maybe they have an 11-inch dick, or maybe they have something you don't have because you're both fat and this guy has a girlfriend and you don't, so you have to get out of the fat category. I'm not doing this to fat shame anyone. I'm pointing out the elephant in the room. I would never fat shame a person, go to their profile to make ugly comments, talk shit behind their back. Never. It's your right to your body autonomy to look the way you want to look, and no one has the right to bully you. But I have to say this, and there is no other way. Personally, I find overweight men extremely unattractive. I would never date one. I'm not saying that I necessarily want the guy with a six-pack or the model or the bodybuilder, although I couldn't complain if the guy looked like that, but you have to be on a healthy weight for your, like I said, body, age, activity, job, and so on. Thing number 2, how you actually dress. How you dress plays a huge part, and people don't talk about it. If your mom buys your clothes, that has to stop. If you're wearing the same t-shirts since high school, that has to stop. If you're obsessed with a specific band or a specific show or a specific anime show, that's great. You're going to keep those for when you go to a concert or when you go to an anime convention. If you want to actually improve your chances, your clothing has to be profession appropriate, age appropriate, and occasion appropriate. I find it very cringe when I see a guy wearing a suit at 8 a.m. in the morning, and I like suits in men, but I also find it very cringe when I see a guy going, let's say, to visit someone in the hospital and he is wearing shorts and sneakers. You should be more well dressed. So overall, you can invest into some clothing that complements your figure. If you don't know where to start, you can go to any store or any online store and people will help you. Or you can just find a celebrity who looks like you and see what he's wearing and try to copy that if you're a beginner. But this advice will only work if you first lose the weight that we mentioned on number 1. If you have a hot body, you can go out with a $5 shirt and women will come to give you your phone number. Unfortunately, this is just how it is. Women are as shallow and as visual as men. Forget the bullshit that women want providers, women want men who are just older for the safety. Yeah, the women that they want older men, they are either gold diggers or the men are old but still look very good for their age. So you have that information now, do whatever you want with it. Thing number 3 is developing a personality. So many people that I know don't know how to make any conversation. And depending on the day, if I'm having a bad day, some days I admit it, I respond very badly. For example, when someone messages and says, "Hi, what have you been up to?" I don't feel comfortable telling a total stranger, "What have I been up to?" How about you tell me what you have been up to since you're the one messaging me? When you message someone, you need to read their dating profile and see if you have any common interests and start from that. Or when you meet them in an occasion that talking to other people is appropriate. For example, someone is getting married and you are invited to the wedding. It's totally okay to talk to women you don't know their hobby or single. Someone has a birthday party, someone has a promotion party, someone has a gender reveal party. There aren't going to be single women there. So it's totally okay to introduce yourself, or if you both know someone, to ask them to introduce you. These are places where single women also go to meet men. Even better places to meet quality women. I said it, I'm going to say it again. Volunteering. Volunteer to an animal shelter. Volunteer to an elder people retirement home. Volunteer into a place with children. The women who also volunteer there are good people. They're not shallow, they're not gold diggers, and they have things to give. So that's why they're there helping. And this is also something that you can post to your social media and look like a high quality man. You look like a man that a woman looks at him and says, if I have a problem and I date this guy, he's not going to dump me. Look at him. He's making positive contributions to society, even once a week. Volunteer to a soup kitchen, whatever you want to. Don't go to clubs and bars and expensive restaurants and dating sites like Seeking Arrangements and Seek Quality Women. They have a total different mindset than women who want to be girlfriends. You wouldn't go to a bar to say, I want a non-alcoholic drink in a bar, why don't you have a lot of variety? Because it's a freaking bar. People go to drink alcohol, You should go to a juice bar at the gym if you want to drink juice. It's the same thing, yet no one is going to tell you any of that. People are going to say, just keep going to clubs and wife someone up. The women who go to clubs, they are not going to want to marry you, most likely, okay? They're not there for that. And I'm not saying this to shame anyone. I mean, after all this fetish stuff I do online, I'm the last person to shame women for wanting to have casual sex or for wanting money or whatever. Each person has the right to want whatever they want. But if you're messaging me and you say, person, how I'm going to find a girlfriend, you have to start avoiding these places. They're not going to work for you. They're only going to work, like I said, for the guy that women approach him, not the opposite. I'm not going to even start videos about race. People sitting and talking shit about women of their own race and praising women of other races. I don't want anything to do with you if you do that. Because if right now no woman wants you, beggars cannot be choosers. You have to try to improve yourself enough to get some successful women of any race. And I don't care if it's your preference to want a white goddess. If it's your preference to want a white goddess, start by becoming extremely financially successful, because white women are expensive. We are very high maintenance. We're not going to do poor and happy. So you have been warned. And the last and most important thing to close this video is tell no one about it. Do you remember that old movie, The Fight Club, where Brad Pitt looked really hot, where he said the first rule about the Fight Club is that we don't talk about the Fight Club? If anyone asks what you're doing, you're going to be denying it. You're going to be saying, I was very busy, I didn't have time to eat. I take medication and I cannot drink, I take antibiotics. I was sleeping in the afternoon. You're not going to say you're volunteering and I didn't see your phone call. Because if you make the mistake of sharing the truth with your mom or with your loser friends or with whoever loser is holding you back, they are going to make you fail. Guaranteed. And I don't want you to make you fail, so you're going to say, Persephone, why do you recommend becoming a sociopath? Why do you recommend lying? Why do you recommend hiding? Why do you recommend all of this crap? I'm stressed, I'm a good guy, I don't do that shit, I'm not a fuckboy, you want to make me a fuckboy? Well, I'm only going to say this. All this time you haven't been lying. All this time you haven't been hiding, you haven't been acting like a sociopath. Did it get you anywhere? Because doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results, it's not going to give you good results. If you don't have results at 30, you're not going to have results at 40. You're not going to have results at 50. And those are things that you should have been doing for your well-being anyway. It's good to take care of your health. It's good to not look like a slob. It's good to not embarrass yourself sending creepy ass messages or appearing the creep in the supermarket, sizing women up to go talk to them. Sometimes I want to call security when people want to do that in the supermarket. Like, I'm there to shop. I'm not there. It's not a Korean drama where this Korean model slash actor slash idol moves up next door to me to approach me in the supermarket. And let's face it, these things only happen in dramas and in movies. It's time to live in the real world. That's all for now. I'm going to be uploading more videos like that. I'm actually working for free at this point, with YouTube being like the demonetization police right and left. So if you want to support the channel, please subscribe, please share the video, and like I said, my paid media are above. Thank you for watching.